thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. Do you have an intro for yours? Because I must airdrop this to you.
No. Just, hey, it's the Scott of it all. That's
I'm Craig the Writer Stewart, and this is the YouTube live version. You can always cut this part up. No, not YouTube live. This is a YouTube version of So Much to Say. These are my thoughts and my voice on black shit, white shit, gay shit, and everything in between. You can always cut this part out of your video.
Oh, I don't hear it.
So Scott and I are about to take a little walk rather.
A host stroll.
In the park.
We on the host stroll.
And we figured we would reach some of these daddies that are working from home, but they're not really working from home. We're just joking, people. We're just joking. But he was saying that, you know, he's a little frustrated with Facebook dating. He's been on Facebook dating.
Okay, so I am frustrated with Facebook dating, but I'm not, like, because it's turned, as you know, like, I've, you know, met somebody that I actually like, or I'm enjoying.
Right.
But so I'm not frustrated in that regard. I'm frustrated with the profiles and the way that people communicate, and there's a disconnect for me, so I don't really fully understand it. Like, people have these arrows pointing up and down.
Well, that's for top and bottom.
I understand that, but why is that it? Like, why do I need to know that? I don't even, like, so literally some guy matched with me, some 71-year-old man matched with me. His first question was, are you top, bottom, reverse? And I was like, well,
sir, that might be why you're 71 and still by yourself.
Can you maybe ask me my fucking last name first?
Right.
Like, what the fuck is that? I'm confused by that. And
so did you respond?
No, I did respond in a bitchy kind of way. I just said good luck to you. And then I deleted.
Good luck and good night. Even though it's 2 in the afternoon.
Because I don't have shit else to say. Because my thing is, you know, I understand sex is important. But people, to me, are doing that, the little arrow things, and asking that question under the guise of cutting to the chase and not wanting to waste time.
Yeah.
Well, but my thing is, I don't want to waste time either. But here's the thing: anything worth having takes time.
Yeah.
And I also need to make sure, and I've said this before to you, I think on your live, is that I want to make sure I am emotionally compatible, intellectually compatible, and those things, like, I'm not
just
asking,
as important.
I'm not asking your fucking IQ or your credit score.
Right.
Like, I mean,
and the other part of it too is it's the assumption that we're even going to have sex.
How about that?
That we're going to get to that point.
How about that?
Because I may not even like you.
I may not even be
as a person.
Right, because there have been plenty of, I have like about 5 different conversations, and they just sitting on red. I ain't got shit else to say. And we haven't had a sexual conversation, but the conversation has just fallen into a lull.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, I guess, and I'm questioning, like, is it me? Like, am I the drama? No. Is it me, like, am I old, or is my thinking antiquated? And by no means am I approved. Because I'm not. But I don't think that I need to have a whole full-on sexual conversation with you when I'm trying to get to know you. And I'd like to get to know people organically, not like this forced.
Right. And then also it's like, if you're going to reduce the conversation to just sex, why not just go over there to one of those sex apps? This medium should be offering something different.
That's right. I mean, and the other thing is, if you want to fuck, then just say I want to fuck.
Right.
Like, let's not play around and beat around the bush with this bullshit about, like, well, I just want to get to, you know, I want to get that out of the way to make sure we're compatible.
Well, how has that helped you in the past, though?
Right.
Getting that out of the way.
Right.
You know, leading with sex.
Because the truth is, for me, if I like you, I can figure whatever out.
Right.
Like, you know, it doesn't matter to me. Unless you're like 6'2" and you want me to be on your back, that's a problem for me. Like,
be on what? On
your back every night. Because why are you looking at me like
that? Because I want to break that down. So why is that a problem?
Because bigger guys that are bigger than me, like, it is a lot of work for me, and I'm just like not that interested in all that. Our bodies don't fit together naturally, if that makes sense.
So you're saying you don't want to be climbing their back?
No, I do not. Like, that's like fucking, Grape Ape and fucking Mighty Mouse.
Well, what about when people say when you're lying in the bed, though, we're all the same height?
No, we're not. That's some bullshit.
Okay, so is there a height cap for you?
My height, preferably. Like, I can go like 6 feet.
I want you to turn down here. I want to show you these houses right here. Right here.
Oh, here. I'm sorry. My height is the cap. Preferably. I can go to 6 feet, but, preferably around my height.
Right.
But 6'2" and like 220, that's a lot. That's a lot to work with. I mean, why are you smiling like that?
I'll tell you off camera.
You must like that. You like the challenge of that.
I didn't say that.
I'm asking the question.
And I said I'm going to tell you off camera. And we'll take a little intermission here. We're back. And we're back.
Craig told me something really juicy.
Yeah, I couldn't say that on here.
He did. So that's my problem. And I don't know if it's a problem. It's just fascinating, like how people feel so comfortable to just be asking you some stuff like that. Like, I don't, and without even knowing your last name. It just,
and for me, that's why those apps never worked for me.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, I indulged for a period, but it was just like, that was why it just always felt incongruent for me.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, oh, this is just so impersonal. And then I always felt like, people approach you online, period, in a way
that they would
contrary to how they would approach you in a Target or even in a club.
I agree.
Even in the way that they present themselves, it's like a lot
more empowered.
They feel more emboldened for sure.
Yeah.
And it's like online, they're more apt to be like, oh, my name is JT. But then in person, hey, how you doing? I'm Jonathan.
Right.
Like, why not just give me your real name? You know what I mean? In person, they'll, oh yeah, I work in HR. I work for such. But online, they want to be really nebulous, real uncertain. You know what I mean? Unclear, rather.
So I'm gonna say something, and it's gonna sound contradictory to what I just said, because I read a profile today, and a guy said in his profile it said, "I'm a feminine bottom," and I kind of paused at that because I was a little bit kind of like, why are you saying that? But then I do understand why you would describe yourself as feminine, because a lot of people may not be attracted to that. Like, but you can be a feminine top, because there are. And, so I get why you say I'm feminine. I understand that. But I don't necessarily agree with the placing of your sexual position in your profile. And to be brutally honest, I swipe left on I don't care if I'm attracted to them or not, but because if you have that in your profile, I'm immediately turned off.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't know if that's right or wrong, but that's just how I feel.
Well, that's what matters, is how you feel. It's not about right or wrong. But
the reason I'm questioning it, because I feel like I'm closing myself off to a popular opinion, that I just don't subscribe to.
Right.
So I don't know if which might be why I'm single. You know what I mean? Like.
But going back a couple steps to what you said a moment ago about a feminine top, it's like there are people who turn their nose up at feminine tops too. You know what I mean? Like, there's a population of men who don't want to deal with a feminine guy, period, whether you bottom or not. But there are feminine tops that get rejected as well, because there are people, oh, he ain't climbing on my back. He all soft or whatever.
People subscribe to
or they think that because you're soft that you also have to be a bottom. Yeah,
that's right.
That's what you crave sexually.
I think my issue with it is because during my heyday, like, this didn't take place.
When you were living.
Right, basically. Yeah. Like, this didn't take place. Like, it literally was, if you were attracted to somebody, you would just go home. Like, nobody was asking you, well, what do you like? Are you a top? Are you a like, it was just, I'm attracted to you, you're attracted to me, let's go home and do what the fuck we want to do. Right. Like, and it was that simple.
Yeah.
So, and it didn't matter all that, like, stuff that's going on now, like, with masculine. Like none of that stuff was even a thing. Like everybody, you know, was just kind of whatever. If that makes sense.
Wow.
So I think that's why it turns me off so much, because it's like I don't have any experience with that. Like people asking me, well, I mean I do, but I don't from like when I was younger.
Yeah.
Everybody seems to just subscribe to this heteronormative kind of stuff. And it's just weird to me.
Very true.
And you know how I feel about being placed in a box. So anyway, that's the Scott of it all.